I mean, me personally, I love to fight blind with a cane, and we are off! Both starting in Link's house, and we got 20 rupees in that chest. And so Dazed is going to go straight over. Looks like etium is going to try to get some bombs.
Ooh, and the Hinox coming over saying hi to etium, unfortunately. Etium getting that kill, probably for that tree pull, but then taking that death. Those Hinoxes are very punishing here early on with just 3 hearts and green mail.
And Dazed already starting off with another heart container, so that's very nice to have super early on in these inverted seeds.
Yeah, any bit of life you can get definitely is very welcome. Unfortunately, etium taking yet another death there. We'll see where he decides to go next.
And that 20 rupees playing out very nicely for Dazed, going straight to the arrow game to turn that 20 into a fortune.
Very nice work there by dazedcloud for that arrow game. Etium finally getting that tree pull off, and looks to be just 20 arrows. So no cash or bombs from there today.
And we're already into the dig game. So what are we going to find underground here?
We're getting a lot of 20s. I'm sure the runners are going to enjoy seeing that pop up. But there's a fairy in a bottle.
Wow.
That's going to be very handy just in case we do have to do some very low percentage boss fights early on.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you'd love to see something, you know, in terms of items, but hey, I don't think anyone's going to argue with a fairy in a bottle at this point. And Dave's going to the shop and getting some bombs. So we're going to see a Hype Cave play, potentially. Nope. Not going to go back for Hype Cave. We're going to save and quit to go do it. Yep, looks like they're just going to save that little bit of extra time by doing the save quit.
All right, so this will be our first look at Hype Cave today. Got 5 item checks in here, so this is sometimes a very good payoff early on.
Ooh,
Looks like Pod is a green pendant, and Skullwoods is red pendant.
And we got a 6 crystal on Ice Palace.
And I believe the first item there was of value. We got an early glove, so some value there for the runners. That glove is going to obviously be needed.
Yeah, so Dazed already at 5 hearts, got a glove, so now can farm some extra bombs here. And we're going to get not a bumper ledge check just yet, but we're going into Skull Woods here. And etium is gonna go up that direction as well, but looks like angling more towards Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, gonna forego Skull Woods at the moment. Just a map in that first chest for dazedcloud, though.
And we got a small key, so makes traversing this a little bit easier.
So there's our first of 2 items here in Skull Woods, just a 3-pack of bombs.
And so Daisy is going to go for the middle chest there and see if there's any items there. Meanwhile, etium finishing out the Village of Outcasts checks here, looking for some bombs. Can't bomb that open without some bombs. And And so he's going to reset and try again.
Yeah, these bushes that he's picking up, there's one, are 50-50 bomb spawns. Luckily got 2 there that time.
And just 10 arrows for his troubles. Meanwhile, Dazed dancing around those Gibdos.
Gets the statue there, nicely done. So now we can check this chest here, and that is just going to be a small key today.
So it looks like Thieves Town is probably going to have that progression. And Dazed trying to do a death warp, but has that fairy.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you just overthink not think about having those fairies, and I can say myself, I've done that quite a few times, just trying to do a death warp, and then suddenly, suddenly there's a fairy. But there's the glove there for etium.
So yeah, Thieves Town looking like progression in right now, and if we get a lamp, you know, that puts us at least up to Death Mountain for a couple more checks.
Yeah, no doubt. There are a few checks up there, including the old man. That's one of these changes for inverted mode. You can get up Death Mountain like you do in the light world here in Dark World. A little bit of some entrance swaps, but not too many.
So Day's gonna get started on those Village of Outcast checks. Meanwhile, etium trading places gonna go to Skull Woods. Looks like etium does not want to go into Thieves Town just yet.
Yeah, weaponless Thieves Town isn't always something that runners want to do. We've seen both of these guys kind of dance around it, checking everything that they can. You know, sometimes you just have to do it, and it looks like the way things are panning out, the runners are going to be forced to.
Yeah, but also they will probably end up. There's a very high likelihood to end up with a weapon in Thieves Town at this point. What weapon that is, we won't know.
All right, so that basically, I think, is every check for dazedcloud. So off we go into Thieves Town.
Yeah, Thieves Town is a crystal, so they can get an early crystal here. Provided that, well, there's the lamp that I was talking about.
So now the mountain is in logic.
But we have no moon pearls, so I don't know if that really restricts you from any of those light world checks on Death Mountain on the west side, but let me think.
So
really
you
don't
can
think it
do the
does.
one inside of Spectacle Rock, and you can turn the old man in. That's one of the neat features here about inverted mode. You will be able to navigate the light world as a bunny for quite some time, and potentially looking for Moon Pearl.
No weapons yet, though. Dazed checking the front 4, getting the lamp, but no weapons, so deeper we go.
When etium taking a shot there in Skull Woods, has that fairy, so will be able to be revived. And this has kind of so far been a textbook seed for our runners here as far as inverted. You know, the high difficulty spike here at the very beginning, just with the amount of damage these enemies put out, is absolutely insane.
Yep, and this conveyor belt room is really nasty and inverted. Because if it doesn't kill you, it can chip away at your health.
Yeah, most definitely. Looks like Dazed is going to come up here and give us our first hint check. It is a joke hint, though. So no valuable information yet from those telepathic hint tiles.
So it looks like etium is gonna head over to Thieves Town at this point, and that's, I think, about all he can do at this moment.
Oh, the bully giving him a hard time today. Oh, and they got boots here in Thieves Town in the attic. That is going to make navigating much quicker.
But those boots do not open anything for us just yet.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to need some form of light world progression as far as that moon pearl goes before we can actually put those to really good use.
And that would be a bummer if you come out of here without a weapon and it's on Death Mountain. Because you'll have to hold off on blind for now. I believe there's one last chance for a weapon, and Dazed forgetting that they don't have they do have the lift, so they can lift that block.
Ooh, and etium taking a save and quit here. Going to potentially go up the mountain now instead of continuing into Thieves Town.
And there's the fire rod.
Ooh, there's the weapon we needed. However, we still don't have a weapon to kill blind. So, dazedcloud probably going to deliver blind to the boss room here. And then take either a save and quit or a death warp out. And look what we have here. There's Kane and Samaria hanging out on the Bumper Cave ledge. That's going to require Cape and Mire from Lightworld before we can get that.
So etium, however, will get the first crack at the mountain, and there could be something there. Dave's taking a death warp instead of a save and quit. So Dazed, I wonder if Dazed is going to try to check the back of Skull Woods first.
That's a very real possibility. You know, you've got that fire rod using a shot there, so out of magic, but there are a couple of spots to grab some magic refills here in Skull Woods. You know, we only found one of our 2 items here, and if it's not on Moth, we've got a pretty much free access to it at this point. All right, so Spectacle Rock today, up on top, only 300 rupees. Pretty sure neither of our runners are going to go pick that up today. But now we have finally delivered this old man to his dwelling place, and just 3 bombs for our troubles.
And etium's going to go ahead and check what is on Spectacle Rock. And maybe there's something good inside. How many fire rod shots does it take to kill the moth?
You need a solid 8, same as the Master Sword. So you're going to need a full magic layout for it. dazedcloud now checking the map, seeing that this is a pendant. So opting to check this chest here in the front first. And on etium's side, we see just a big 20 hanging out inside of Spectacle Rock, getting that hint that cash is in the Mimic Cave. So that's one check we can cross off our list.
And it's a sword! Wow, our first sword is in the back of Skull Woods. What is this seed doing?
That is very, very good for dazedcloud. That's going to give them, potentially a way to kill blind. I wasn't doing item counting, honestly, inside of Thieves Town, but that being said, we also could kill the moth here as well in case we need the pendants.
And Days looks like they're gonna give the moth a shot. Me personally, just me, I would say no way, Jose. I wouldn't even try it.
Yeah, it's
But,
definitely a tough fight here with Fighter Sword and Fire Rod. So, we'll have to keep an eye and see how this goes for dazedcloud.
At least for Days, they have the lamp, so they don't have to waste a bunch of magic with fire rod shots to light those torches. But still gonna have to get lucky on magic drops back here. Well, I mean, with the fire sword, I guess you can spin away, but I'd prefer to try to farm some magic. Okay.
And dazedcloud deciding to leave after going through all that trouble. Maybe remembering that they got the item earlier and there's no item left on Moth. So etium making the play over to here. Let's see. It looks like he may be trying to do the fake flipper strat to get some early pod access. Gets it on the first try. Very nicely done. So gonna have access to the eastern part of Dark World now.
One interesting bit is that Dazed will be able to check that first chest in Hookshot Cave.
Yes, that is very true. With those boots, you can bonk to it. So that is something to keep an eye on.
And all the things that etium is doing at the moment is out of logic. So the progression could be where dazedcloud ends up doing that first chest.
Alright, so off we go up the mountain on dazedcloud side. Nice long journey. Etium down to a half a heart. Gonna have to play this very carefully. But manages to get through. Let's see what Catfish has for us.
Well, he's got a $5, so that's $5 closer to pod access.
Yeah, if etium is trying to get into pod, definitely gonna need some more cash before you can make that happen.
So Dazed will also check what's inside Spectacle Rock, but will Dazed go back up to Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave? That's the question.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what Daze decides to do, but most likely going to be getting that Light World check. There's a 5 crystal down in Desert Palace and a pendant on Tower of Hera.
Alright, so etium checking the pyramid, and we're going to find out what's up there. Alright, so here, if Daze goes back to the mountain, we're going to see a try. Yep. And etium gonna almost have to use that potion to get past that enemy who was backing him into a corner over there.
Yeah, very close call there for etium. Sees a piece of heart, and given the nature of inverted mode here at the start, is going to opt to pick that up.
Alright, so Dazed doing the logic progression here. This could be big. Dodging them Lionels before they take him out.
Yeah, navigating through those Lionels, you basically just have to take some form of, a damage boost to get the iframes to get through. But dazedcloud now in Super Bunny Cave going to get their piece of heart and a bee in a bottle.
Ooh.
Opting to save and quit, not heading into Hookshot Cave to see about that first chest.
Oh, I think Daze realized it after the save quit. Yeah, that had to have been an early trigger finger on that save quit there. Oh wait, no, we're gonna go for the Aga play. Interesting.
Yeah, we only need the lamp and the sword to put Aga into full logic. Well, I guess the glove as well to get up the mountain. But yeah, I like this play. This is gonna open up a good bit of checks, and it could lead us to our Moon Pearl.
Yeah, the frustrating thing about Moon Pearl in inverted is that it can be so many places in the light world, as opposed to when you've got like a Moon Pearl in the dark world and a normal seed, it can only be a couple places in the dark world, which is Pyramid Ledge and Checkerboard Cave. But light world options are wide open.
So Dazed making very good use of that fire rod, that one-hit kill on pretty much all of these enemies, while having that magic available. It's a smart play to make, just so you don't have to worry about dealing with the fighter sword.
So etium going to the back, gonna find those boots and the fire rod, and we'll be able to continue on. And getting the hint that the unique item is in Thieves Town. Little late for that one.
Yeah, indeed.
And Dazed executing this tower very nicely.
All right, so as dazedcloud makes their way into the Aga 1 fight, etium up in the attic now of Thieves Town and going to be getting their boots pretty soon.
And quickly get your guesses in for how many blue balls Aga is gonna give us today. I'm gonna have to say 3.
I'll be nice and say it'll be a nice spicy 0.
Well, there's one. Two. All right, now you can stop throwing the blue balls. So you've got my guess in. Aw. So we're up to 4 blue balls.
Aga being relentless today, but finally goes down.
looks like our winner is Crazy Sunshine. You win a lifetime supply of Aga-1 seeds. So from here on out, all of your seeds will be Aga-1 required.
And dazedcloud taking an intentional death here. Gonna be doing that bunny revival strat. So this way we'll be back in normal mode instead of bunny mode in this dungeon, and we can start checking chests.
All right, yep. And so Etium is going to the east side of Death Mountain, and we're gonna get a peek at that bonk chest. This could be big. But no.
Just a piece of heart today.
Is Etium thinking about doing some hover swag? Nope.
So far for Dazed, looks as though escape coming up empty on those first two chests. We do have a good bit of chests left to go. Did get that small key, so could go all the way to the back if they so choose.
And I think I would do that because you had to set up, the bunny revival and everything. Might as well do it all at the same time and then move on from there.
Yeah, Dazed taking that intentional death to get back to the beginning. So gonna get a check of Dark Cross and back of escape now.
Because you can also go all the way through and come out in Sank, get the Sank chest, and then head on over to Kakariko to check like bottle vendor or something for that moon pearl.
All right, so while dazedcloud is headed to the back to see what Dark Cross has for us today, Etium is in hot pursuit, about to get his first sword upgrade. There we go. There's that first sword rather, and second item of Skull Woods.
And we got a heart container and Dark Cross, so there's some more health. Etium trying to decide on what to do here. This seed is being rather stingy. I think it has dawned on Etium perhaps that it is Aga time. Nope.
And it looks like we're gonna get the play back over to Thieves Town for Etium.
Alright, back of escape having pretty much nothing. Heart containers, so that's kind of nice.
Alright, so keep in mind with Etium going in to do Thieves Town, this isn't going to be your normal bread and butter blind scripted fight, quote unquote. Blind is already going to be at the top of the room here since we've already delivered him. There's a single green rupee in the sanctuary. So escape kind of coming up empty there.
Yeah, so now Daze is going to head to Kakariko and check all the NPCs. We can check Sick Kid, we can check Bottle Vendor for some items. Because for those of you that aren't familiar with Inverted, you never really have to do this in normal seeds, but all you can do to get items is talk to NPCs. You can't open chests or anything like that. So there's the Moon Pearl!
Moon Pearl on Sick Kid. Wow.
dazedcloud getting a huge advantage, picking up that Moon Pearl, and now has full-on light world access here. Yeah, that Moon Pearl must be have some moon dust on it. It's I've heard that moon dust is not safe to breathe. If you're a fan of Portal, you know what I'm talking about.
Etium looking to see if he has a potion. Unfortunately does not, and taking yet another death to blind. dazedcloud now finally getting those checks in. Let's see what the Kakariko well has for us today. There's another sword. So we're already at Master Sword. That's going to be welcome for our runners.
And the Titansmiths, wow. Titansmiths not... Oh my god, it's the silvers too. What a well. Well played, Seed.
So this, most bosses are going to be pretty easy for the runners, depending on when that bow shows up.
But yeah, Titansmith's not as useful in inverted, but it is gonna create some shortcut.
Oh, most definitely. The other thing to keep in mind, if the Mire shows up, that is going to be a good way of dealing with the right side of Eastern Death Mountain. And on top of that, we've got boots, and now we've got mitts, so that could mean that the King's Tomb may come into play. That normally, you don't really see King's Tomb that often here in inverted mode.
And etium using pause buffering here to dodge all the bullet hell. And I think he's got one more hit left. And down goes blind, so... And there was an item, and it's just 20 bucks, and etium is probably none too pleased.
Yeah, especially after taking a couple deaths. It can be a little frustrating when you don't get your progression there. But that is one crystal, so most likely we'll see that Aga play from etium at this point. And there's just 300 bucks hanging out here in Lost Woods.
Yeah, Dazed getting a ton of cash. And Dazed is going to go ahead and check the Lumberjack, see if there's anything useful we can gain, and it looks like Dazed is just going to YOLO it.
Yeah, you've got boots, it's inverted, you know, we've already killed Aga, might as well give it a shot, you know. If it turns out to be something, you save time just by checking it this way, but unfortunately, just 3 bombs, but, you know.
And etium finally making the Aga 1 play. So we have no cape, so we're going to be putting that Cane of Samaria on hold for now. But here comes Bonk Rocks. We're probably going to get Bonk Rocks, Graveyard Ledge, and King's Tomb all over here. And it's the hook shot!
So there's a good bit of progression there with Hook. That is, you know, going to give us a quick way over to East Death Mountain. Now we've got 2 ways of getting there. And that's also going to open up the other 3 chests in Hookshot Cave as well.
Yeah, this seed was a stingy start, but it has really opened up once you get into the light world.
Graveyard Ledge just got 20 bucks for us today. So, nothing of great value there. We got plenty of money.
So Days just continuing on. Looks like going over to the eastern area, perhaps. Nope. Yep. Eastern it is. We're gonna see what's on Old Man Saha's closet. Meanwhile, etium is continuing on, almost to the top of the tower. Gonna get their reward of 5 blue ball aga.
A little bit and a whole lot of love all at the same time from Sahasrara's closet.
So Days starting back at Link's house here and gonna go through that portal there and probably do South Shore.
Yeah, South Shore is a really good play here. There's a good bit of items, 2 at the dam, 5 at Mini Moldorm, and you got the 1 over in Ice Rod Cave, and you could technically sequence break some of the water checks as well. We may find flippers along the way though, so then it would put them in logic.
Yep. And so we just got a pack of bombs in the interior, and the exterior shall have... What shall it have? Flippers? Will it be flippers?
We'll see. Just another bee in a bottle. That's 3 bottles today. Dave's gonna opt to pick that up.
One of those rare aquatic bees. And Dazed off to Mini Moldorm Cave. One of the hype caves of the light world.
All right, down goes Aga 1 for etium.
And looks like no hype for Mini Moldorm today. Just having some money and heart pieces, so we're kind of past the point where we're starving for health. So those heart pieces aren't as welcome as they were before.
Yeah, at this point, we're pretty well established. That's kind of the weird thing about Inverted, is just the game feels like it gets easier the longer it goes.
And Ice Rod Cave having nothing but a big 20. Dazed setting up the water walk here. And etium is getting that moon pearl.
Alright, so the world is wide open for etium now. We do know that there is at least 1 sword here in Kakariko. But dazedcloud doing that water walk, saving that time instead of doing fake flippers. Just a piece of heart hanging out on the Lake Hylia Island today. So we're going to get a hobo check. We'll see what the hobo has for us.
And Hobo's just got some bombs, so fake flipper back, and we're gonna go pay a visit to good old King Ripoff. Meanwhile, etium getting all the goodies that Kakariko Town has to offer.
All right, so we're going to get this out of sequence Waterfall Fairy check. We got 2 items in here. Just a big 20 and a red boomerang for your troubles.
And what are we gonna fill our bottles up with today? And it's blue goo! Very nice.
Yeah, that is 160 bucks saved, so that's always super nice to find.
And we got Bombos on the Zora ledge, so not sure if that's going to be required, but it's good knowledge to know that it's there. Unfortunately, picking it up may not be an option.
Yeah, Daze did not store that water walk, so we'll not be able to pick it up right now. But if it does turn out to be required, at least like you said, we know where that is. Mire and TR are both crystals today, so there is a good probability we might see Bombos as one of those.
Yep, and Daze headed back up to the top of Death Mountain. Oh, look at that. There's half magic in the library. Good find by etium.
Yeah, it totally slipped my mind that we hadn't gotten, library and race game check. Half magic going to be pretty useful, and looks like just a full heart container on the race game.
And we also have Cave 45 to check. And it's the cape, so there's our access to the Cave of Samaria.
Yeah,
oh, wait, we don't need the mirror. That's right. We still need a mirror.
Yeah, we've got 50%.
Well,
Speaking of the mirror, holy cow. So, mirror inside a hookshot and cape inside K45, and that is going to lead us directly to Arcane of Samaria today.
So now Dave's going back over to the Light World portal and gonna check East Death Mountain on the light side. I think we're seeing a force of habit here of not having the Titan Smiths. Oftentimes, the Titan Smiths go missing in Inverted Seeds, and you really never find them because you barely ever need them.
They're so rare. It kind of makes me feel like King's Tomb has something. I'm not sure if we got the check of King's Tomb just yet.
We did. And I believe it was just some trash.
Well, shows what I know.
So, Paradox starting off slow. Let's see if there's a bit more hype upstairs. Alright, we got some bombs. We got a heart piece. The hammer! And they're single arrows. So the hammer, that's another big find by Daze.
Yeah, 2 unique items. One being progression, one not. But Paradox Cave coming up big today.
So Daze is going to head up top and do Spiral Cave. And potentially go back for Hera. It looks like gonna do Hera first. Get that out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to check Hera, this is the time to do it, because you don't want to have to come back here.
And item number 1 is a piece of heart. And we get the penalty key.
So just a piece of heart and a map in the western wing of Swamp Palace. That is good information to have. That way we know we don't have to check that at all. It's not even a gamble at this point.
So Dazed is not gonna bother with the basement for now. So Dazed is gonna orphan one item there. We'll have to remember, if it comes down to it, that that is a potential place for an item. And let's see what Spiral Cave's got for us today. Just 20 bucks. So etium is also going to find that blue goo at the waterfall ferry, so very nice prize there.
Yeah, you know, it's always better to save 160 bucks whenever you can. Plus having that safety is very beneficial.
Now, where is Dazed gonna head? Is he gonna head back to Hera? Oh, Turtle Rock. Right, that's right.
Yeah, we've got a mirror, so there are a few things we can check. Let's see. No cape yet for Dazed Cloud, but based on we know where it's at, these chests can be in logic.
And Laser Bridge already not paying off very well. And that beetle is come to try to bully Dazed, but Dave shoves him off.
Oh, so there's the big key. All the dungeon items hanging out here proves me wrong. There's 10 arrows. But having that big key, that is going to allow Dazed Cloud to just route in that big chest and not have to worry about doing that, you know, at the very end.
And we're going to take another loop back up to the top. And we got the hammer, so now we can check Mimic as well.
Yeah, we got a hint that the Mimic Cave was just some rupees. So
Oh yeah, that's
this mirror play into TR is going to be for that big chest, which is just a small key, but that is going to let us kind of do some stuff here in Turtle Rock.
Yep, and it looks like the blacksmiths have just some love for etium, and where is he gonna head next? Oh, we got the bow! Wow.
The bow in TR. Oh my goodness. 48 minutes in, you know, we're just, you know what, maybe a medallion, an ice rod, and I guess flippers away from go mode. We technically, with the mirror, we don't even need, we need the book as well. So we're a few items out. I am jumping the gun a bit.
Yeah, but this seed is being very friendly to Dazed. A lot of these items just kind of falling into Dazed's lap. And Dazed picking up another small key. Gonna go over and check the chain chomp room, and we'll be able to check. No, doesn't have the cane, so can't check the front. We'll have to go out to the out of here after this and find that cape before it can finish off the front. And getting 50 bucks from the chain chomp room, and death warping back to the beginning, or just doing a save quit. All right, so here we're gonna see, we can see a full Eastern clear, and Dazed has that bow in their hand, so we could see an Eastern pod combo right here.
Yeah, very true. We've got 3 items in Eastern, as well as 5 in Palace of Darkness. Palace of Darkness being a pendant today, but you know, if the runners really want to look for progression, there's a high density area.
Yeah, with pod, you know, it's got a lot of items, so definitely if you're gonna dip it, now is the time, because you just clear Eastern and mirror back and you can clear everything you want in pod. So etium picking up that hook shot in the bonk rocks and is now on their way to getting that hook shot. Helps them get to the next step of progression, which will be on the mountain, and we'll see how long it takes etium to get up there.
Yeah, we from the booth and you know from the audience, you can definitely see where the items are falling, obviously, and kind of get a good route, you know, or a good path routed out in your head. Um, you know, with that mirror being so far out of the way, it's going to be interesting to see how etium decides to route that in once finding that mirror. Could make the play to just stop right then and see where he's going to go from there.
But with that hook shot, etium is gonna head into the front of the escape for now.
And oh, there's the book for Dazed Cloud. Another piece of the puzzle falling into his lap. That's very nice. Some cash, and some cash requires a big red bomb. So that is also good news. We don't have to worry about that big red bomb and the Pyramid Fairy today.
But we got powder on Uncle and the shuffle. Fetch Quest Central over here. These are items that Dazed did not pick up. Could lead to something.
Yeah, if you're in the etium camp, you're kind of hoping that those are going to lead to some form of progression to get him back into this. But if there's no progression there, that's just going to take him further off the beaten path. Kind of a blessing in disguise for Dazed to potentially forget that those are there. So just encompassing that big chest, off we go to the back. And we're going to take on Armos Knights with those silver arrows. Going to be a very quick fight. Going to blink and you miss it.
Yep, and etium is about to head down to Zelda's cell. I don't recall anything major being in the front of Escape.
Yeah, Escape is, I think, just a lot of like convenience items, bombs, hearts, and rupees. Or arrows as well. But here we go on Dazed Cloud side with Armos Knight fight.
And
Very
there it
nicely
is.
Done.
So Dazed picking up their first crystal at about 55 minutes. But at this point, those crystals are going to start falling down. And Dazed opting not to do the pod dip. And so now Dazed is gonna head over to Desert, probably.
Yeah, book in hand and with a fire source, or both fire sources, plus boots, Desert fully clearable. Going to be able to get both items out of here and go ahead and knock that crystal out. Does have the mirror, so we can get our first peek of the Misery Mire area as well.
And just a $20 rupee from that tablet. And now let's see if Agahnim has what we need. And look at this, etium is going into Hookshot Cave. And that's a nice little treasure that Agahnim is hiding there. Not progression, but blue mail, definitely something that every runner won't mind having.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure the runners in some aspect wish they could have had that a little sooner in this seed, just the way it played out. But there's flippers. Oh my goodness. So that is going to put Ice Palace fully in logic for us as well as Swamp too.
Yeah, this seed has been a jet. Like,
yeah, we've got a few things left to, you know, pieces of the puzzle to find, but a lot of early progression here. So, you know, depending on where our last few items are, this does have the potential to be a very quick one.
And etium is gonna get that hammer now. It's all gonna come down to, let's see, Ice Rod being somewhere. Etium's gonna have to hope that it's somewhere that Dazed is gonna miss.
So there's a hint that's nice to get, you know, well after the logic has made you already get it. Magic Mirror requires the hook shot.
And we'll get to see if etium is gonna do the basement for that, to try to get that second item out of Hera, or if etium will dip out as well once he finds out that it's just the first item in the basement.
So there's a second shield upgrade for Dazed Cloud.
And etium is opting to pick up that piece of heart. Why not? Yeah, and getting a very useful hint there. Although we may end up go-moding Swamp, it's nice to know that the left side is dead if you happen to not be able. So this could be big or it could be bad. It all depends on what the second item is. Because if this second item is Ice Rod, that could be a game changer.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is what Rando is all about. You gotta take these gambles. Sometimes these pendants do pay off. Days opted to skip it just because there's been so much progression already. There's so many things we can check. You know, the pendant dungeons aren't very alluring at this stage, just due to, you know, being forced to do the coffee break room. But etium choosing to do this, and we could, you know, there could be something huge here. We'll have to wait and see what's going to be up in the top of the tower.
Meanwhile, Dazed, almost to the landmo. Frostbite pointing out that we've got a hint up there too, which could be of good value as well.
All right, so here we go. dazedcloud taking on Landmo. Missing that first silver shot, but looks like gets the second too. So should be able to get this in just 2 cycles. Nicely done.
And a unique item is in plain sight, so... Oh, and nothing here, so etium is going to step on out. I would say that unique item in plain sight is probably Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, that's most likely what that is pointing to. All right, so here's our first check of the Mire area. Unfortunate mirror bonk there, so our check is delayed a moment.
Yeah, because I think we've seen all the other plain sight items, and they're nothing. They were nothing. Alright, so we got some bombs, and we got $20 in Mire Shed. The other big thing is, I don't think it'll take forever for Days to get around, but how long will it take for Days to get to Cave 45, which may be the way he's headed now?
Yeah, it very well could be. Maybe deciding to make this swamp play. We've got everything we need to do it, and that does look to be the case.
And we're getting a spike cave check here, so we'll see if there's anything here, because this check here is another one that it'll be a long time, I think, before Dazed goes to spike cave.
Alright, so I think that's at some caches in darkness, but just a big 20 there for etium.
So Misery Mire is Quake, which we have just got confirmation on. Still looking for any of those medallions. We know where one is. And if Bombos is not required, then that Bombos will never get picked up, unfortunately for Bombos. Alright, so etium is headed, let's see, looks like to get that cane probably here.
Yeah, it probably didn't want to do any dips into TR until potentially getting that cane.
Oh yeah, and we can sneak in the front from the back, so Bombos is officially dead. Rip Bombos.
Yeah, this is true.
Because we do have enough keys. Dave's picking up that big key, so there you go. That'll be a little bit of a convenience check there.
Yeah, not having to worry to come back in here. We already know left side's dead. So there's a big 20, and off we go to the back.
And etium picking up that Cane of Samaria, so we'll be able to check the front of Turtle Rock as well as the back and middle. So all we have left is the ice rod, and we can full clear that Turtle Rock.
And so the back of Swamp has Quake. There is our entry requirement for Misery Mire.
Oh, here we go.
That is going to be huge.
We're getting a magic bat check here.
And a sword upgrade for dazedcloud in the waterfall room, sitting a tempered sword now.
And the bat just has the bloomerang. And Dazed is gonna be happy about finding that tempered sword right before Argus.
Yeah, it's definitely going to make that Argus fight much quicker.
Alright, so etium looks like probably gonna try to pick up that purple chest here, as well as hammer pegs. And down go the puffs, and now comes the jellyfish.
And with one silver arrow shot, has it done. There's the ether medallion inside a hammer peg game. We're not going to need that today, but etium doesn't know that yet, so that's a good pickup at this point.
Yeah, and so that's all of our medallions found. But Dazed picking up another crystal, and from here I wonder if we're gonna see Ice Palace.
Yeah, very possible to see that. It is full clearable, and Dazed headed over that way. Seems to be a good time to do it. Just be able to route everything in logically at this point. Etium, meanwhile, is heading to do the dig spot. Let's see if this is going to pay off for him, and it is just a shield upgrade. So between the two runners now, we have found every shield in the game.
Alright, so Dazed will be able to get some hints and some items in here. And what is going to be on our purple chest? There's not a whole lot left that it can be, and it's just 20 bucks.
Yeah, I'm sure Etium's feeling like, man, I have found every big 20 in the game at this point.
So Etium will be able to pick up the blue mail, which will be nice to have. But at this point, I think Etium would rather have a progression item than blue mail. Alright, so Dazed getting all the Joe kids in ice and missing that double kill, so gonna have to kill him the hard way.
Yeah, not a whole lot of good information from hints today. It's been kind of dry as far as hints go.
But at least for Etium, he will get those flippers and now has ability to go swamp. So that'll be some good news for Etium.
Etium also has that mirror, so we may get a check, see what is in the Mire area for him. We've already seen that ourselves here, but good way to route this in. We can get that confirmation that that is Quake.
And we'll see if key logic plays nice for Dazed, or if Dazed is gonna... Well, it looks like Dazed isn't even gonna bother to try to get a free key from Freezor Room.
Yeah, gonna hop on down here and take a look at this hint. Glove and Kakariko well, had to have that basically to get here in logic, so thank you, game. We appreciate that.
Alright, so Dazed is headed on over to Spike Room. Now, I don't see this being as a bad thing for etium to check Swamp. While, you know, it does lead him away from the bow, you're gonna have to do it anyway, and etium knows that left side is dead, so it's, you know, no time lost at all.
Right. And, you know, we may see etium follow a very similar path that Dazed is currently on. With those flippers, you know, especially after getting Tempered Sword, which is what etium is on track to do here inside of Swamp Palace, we may see that Ice Palace dive too. So if there's any progression inside of here, pretty sure, you know, etium will be close behind it. But we do know that etium is going to need to get up with that Cane of Samaria to Turtle Rock at some point to get the bow.
And there's Butter. So Dazed finding yet another sword in ice, but so far no progression item. It looks like Dazed is gonna head on over to Ice Tea. Meanwhile, etium is now in Swamp and about to enter the main chamber here. Again, all he's got to do is check that south chest there. We'll get the big key, be able to grab that big chest, and head on to the back.
All right, just a piece of heart there in Ice Tea Room.
But
I think that's two of our items. I'm not sure if we've seen the third yet.
I mean, it's a nice little refill on dazedcloud side.
Yeah, always a pleasure to have, you know, additional hearts right before heading into a cold stare fight.
But with Butter, yeah, that's gonna put cold stare down real quick. And Dazed will have just enough magic with those two smalls to fill him back up to full.
Yeah, it does still have that blue goo as well, if I do recall, from that fairy fill. So if things go awry here, does have a good backup. And let's see how he does. We got the first phase down and melted and got a good spin there. Basically just able to slash away, and down goes Cold Stare super quick with that Butter Sword.
And there you have it. Down goes Cold Stare. And etium picking up that Bacon Sword and headed on off to fight Argus. So this looks like it's going to be a fight for the Ice Rod.
Yeah, indeed. That is basically, from what we know here in the booth, that is going to be our go mode item, it seems.
But Dazed is going to have to find that cape, and I gotta wonder, is this the play? It looks like it. So Dazed probably can't be heading anywhere but Cave 45 here.
Yeah, probably going to route in K45 and check the library and race game as well, since those haven't been checked. But there is that cape for Dazed Cloud, and we'll be able to go and pick up the Cane of Samaria now.
Yep, Dazed may route in Blacksmith as well. Because now is a good time to pick up the frog. And Dazed almost walked out and said, "Oh wait, that's half magic, I'll take that."
Yeah, it's nice and convenient. You know, might as well pick that up. But it does look like, as I was saying, etium is headed into Ice Palace. So we'll be full clearing that most likely and getting that butter sword.
And Dazed will probably also finish off Thieves Town at this point. Now's a good time to do it.
Oh yeah, most definitely. We got a good amount of hearts here. This is the perfect time to just go ahead and clear out Thieves, get it over with.
And we are going to get that hammer peg check. We know it's just a medallion. And a unrequired medallion, but Ether is nice if you want to deal with Gibdos and Stalfos real quickly. Jason
is going to opt to pick that up just in case.
Yeah, I think I'll grab that. Ped is not necessarily dead. It could be the ice rod. Ice rod is one of those items that, as long as Turtle Rock is not a pendant, it can always be on the ped.
Alright, so Dazed making their way to go get that Cane of Samaria. That's going to completely open up Misery Mire for Dazed Cloud. And that'll be 2 new checks inside of there that we haven't gotten yet.
Not to mention the front of Turtle Rock, if Dazed heads on over there as well. Which, that may be a reason why Dazed decided to pick up the medallion, because it would be faster to go in from the front if you wanted to check the front.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that could be the case, so we know where that third one is, but I doubt we see Dazed head over there to pick up that last one.
Yeah. I mean, Ether was there, and it just took a second to pick up. And here we go. This is the Thieves Town finisher here. So Dazed going into this blind fight with about 13 hearts. So a little bit easier than the last time. Dazed actually didn't even have a weapon the last time, so couldn't even fight blind.
Yeah, not often you get to bring blind all the way back and, you know, not have anything to attack with.
Also, having the fire shield in this fight is very nice as well. You can just hear the fire shield blocking all of those fireballs.
Alright, down goes blind for Dazed Cloud, and that is going to bring His crystal count up to 5, getting ever so closer to GT. But pretty sure we're going to see the Misery Mire play next, if I had to guess. Still looking for that Ice Rod, and Mire is a new and exciting adventure at this point.
And not to mention, we have Mire, but Pod has also been untouched so far.
Yeah, this is true. There are 5 items there. Progression could wind up there for sure.
Yeah, I always check Pod. I'm a strong believer that Pod always has progression. Etium about finished with Ice Palace here, though. Meanwhile, Dazed is going to turn in the purple chest and get that big old 20.
Yeah, I like the way Dazed is doing this, honestly. Did that Thieves Town, and then very conveniently picking this chest up and going to put him right in a great position to, just to get in the Mire area.
Yep. Very good routing here. So Etium about to engage Cold Stare here. And again, with Butter, this fight is trivialized, not to mention half magic. Etium not getting the spin off to get him pushed into the corner, but again, with Butter and half magic with Fire Rod shots, it's really hard to lose on that.
Yeah, it's always nice to have all those extra commodities. So that is going to bring Etium's crystal count up to 3. And here we go on Dazed Cloud side into a Misery Mire.
But one thing that's going to be good for Etium is if he finds the book. Well, once he finds the book, he will be able to combo Mire and Desert, which will save some time. Well, Etium looks like we'll check Saha. Don't know if he'll go into Eastern, but if he does, he will get the book. However, the bow is in Turtle Rock.
All right, so the Spike Room of Mire just has a small key.
And Etium is contemplating
that pod, potentially, with that mirror out.
Looks like Etium may go for it. And if he does go for pod, it potentially could be what could get him back in the race here, because if Ice Rod is in pod, that'll be a nice bonus there. But yeah, Etium needs to be the first one to find that Ice Rod if you're on Team Etium.
Yeah, he's going to need some kind of edge coming down the stretch here. Both runners sitting here at, we're at an hour 24 and some change. And, it's not uncommon to see 2+ hour inverted seeds. But, the timer's starting to weigh down on your mind sometimes. We saw Etium take a few deaths early, and potentially due to that may feel behind on some of the gambles. But that is the way of Rando. We'll see what is going to pop up here in this cutscene chest coming up here for Dazed Cloud.
Yeah, hits in this seed turning out to be pretty useless. So we got the big key. I haven't been paying a whole lot of attention to days. I don't know if any items have been found just yet.
Unless we got something in the room you have to light the torches to get into. I don't think we have gotten an item just yet.
And etium getting the confirmation that Pyramid Fairy is dead, so no need to go to the bomb store today.
All right, there's our red mail. That's going to make ourselves a little more defensive. And compass there, so unless we got an item early, we've got 3 keys. We may be seeing an item on Vitreous.
So etium will get this chest here, and this is the big key. So we'll be able to go check that big chest, find out there is just a compass, if I recall, and we'll have to bow out, but could be checking pod right after. It looked like he was contemplating it before coming in here, and nope, it's just a save and quit. Now etium, you gotta wonder where his next move is gonna be. Because, let's see, I guess Desert would be it. Desert Mire would probably be the play for etium at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you get the book, and you're kind of running out of checks. I'm assuming TR doesn't look too appealing without that ice rod, you know. So maybe that's why etium's putting that off. Just unfortunate for etium here, since we do know that is where that bow is.
And it looks like he's gonna check the tablet, get the big 20, and Dazed is on to Vitreous, busting out the silver machine gun and just mowing down the eyeball. And we got a piece of heart on Vitty, so Ice Rod's still at large.
Yeah, very nice fight there by dazedcloud. Getting that done super quick. And you know, we could also see etium, speaking of Vitreous, we could see etium route in Misery Mire. Not a bad idea given his scenario. We got 2 items here in Desert Palace and 2 in Misery Mire.
Alright, so is Dazed gonna head over to pod at this point?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. We're kind of running out of places. Oh no, this is a pyramid check. I believe dazedcloud has not checked pyramid just yet.
Okay.
So here we go. This is, yeah, we're getting that pod play with the bow. If this is bow locks, logically we can get in. You know, we could do the potion glitch, but no point with silver arrows in hand. And we'll see what we have today. This is kind of a twofer. You know, I guess you could say there's 6 items instead of 5 today. Just because with that green pendant, we'd be able to go talk to Sahasrara and turn that in.
Yeah, if Dazed finds the ice rod here, that's not good news for etium. What the etium fans need to hope for is a total dumpster fire of pod. Because again, there's not much left we can even pick up. There's the mushroom and the flute, the net, and our fourth bottle and the blue cane. Alright, so Dazed checking out what's down here. It's just a small key. And we'll probably see him go on Bollock's side.
Etium gonna have to be very careful here. Down to a half heart.
I believe etium has a blue potion though, because he filled up at the ferry as well. Yep, and there's that blue potion. So etium just living life on the edge. And we got a small key. And 10 arrows, so nothing on the right side, and now we're gonna go to the back.
So yeah, etium doing what I was saying, pulling out that mirror, and now in that mire area. So we're gonna get a full clear of Misery Mire as well.
Yeah, being able to do this will save a little bit of time, but again, etium really needs to be the first one to find the ice rod. Yeah. Chat pointing out the best case scenario for etium is he goes to Turtle Rock and Ice Rod is in the front. And there's our fourth bottle.
Yeah, etium's gonna need to play like that really to help him out. Dazed still blowing through Palace of Darkness here. Headed into that dark maze. We got 3 checks over here.
And there's our big key. So, unless we find a small key here, the big key chest is a small key. As well as Harmless Hellway. So, Dazed is gonna have to go fight the boss if they wanna find anything in Pod, because that's the last place it could be. And it's gonna be the map, but the green pendant could still have something.
Yeah, most definitely. The allure of that item is kind of an unknown. You're here, you might as well get it over with. And that appears that is what Dazed is going to be doing.
So this could be very good news for etium, as long as Ice Rod's not on the green pendant. That's time gained by etium, as long as he does not make the same mistake. Which, in inverted, you know, I don't play a whole lot of inverted seeds, but to me it seems like Turtle Rock shouldn't be avoided.
Yeah, there's, you know, it's kind of like, you know, you go with what your gut tells you a lot, and I don't know. TR is usually very bountiful, so to speak, in inverted mode, and getting that mirror is kind of a sign, you know, hey, head over there. But sometimes it's not the case. I've seen it where it's not been that scenario, and that is, you know, just how the rando wheel turns.
Yeah. And we got chat asking, what has Days not checked? Well, we've got the front of Turtle Rock. That's a big one, but at this point, Tower of Hera, second item, Spike Cave.
Yeah, there's honestly not a whole lot left. But Etium picking up his red mail, and we'll be headed on to Vitreous. So Dazed now gonna have to run out of here and get in that portal to the light world so we can see what Sahash Rala is hiding for us today.
And also Ped. Ped is another place that the Ice Rod could be. Which, that also would not be good for Etium, since, has not collected a single pendant. And, Dazed has one of them.
The only thing that would be in favor of Etium is that he has already done the coffee break room in the bottom of Hera. So let's see what Sash Halbrala has. 3 bombs. So the search continues.
So yeah, Dazed hasn't done Spike, hasn't done Front of Turtle Rock. We haven't seen what's on Ped. And did we see Catfish on Dazed's side?
Don't believe we have.
I don't think we've seen Ether Tablet.
And without that bow, with the butter sword, Etium doing a nice job. A little bit of NMG spins there to take down Vitreous. Very nicely done.
Not even using cape strats. And yep, here we go. This is the Front of Turtle Rock play. And it is a good thing that Dazed picked up that Ether Medallion after all.
Yeah, that's going to end up saving him a good bit of time. Not having to trek through here.
Ooh, and we've got Etium going up to Turtle Rock. Yeah, Ether Tablet and Ped are pretty much the last thing for us that I can think of.
Right, so Etium gonna opt to not go to the front.
Is gonna go to Ether Tablet first. And if Ice Rod is here, that's a little bit of a time save as well.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a swing in Etium's favor, but based off positioning and everything, if it does show up here, you know, Dazed is primed to go snag that shortly after. And just another big 20 for etium there on Ether Tablet.
And it's not in the front. So, unless we miss something, it might be on Ped.
Ah, man, very possible at this stage. And that may be what Dazed is planning at this point. You know, heading into Light World, looks like we are going to get the play into Tower of Hera.
And for those you asking, Bo was in Crystal Roller Room. Day's getting a little dead rock trouble. So it looks like etium's gonna go backwards through the maze, and we'll come up in Crystal Roller and get that bow. Meanwhile, Dazed is gonna go in for that second item, and gonna find out it's not the ice rock. So this is again good for etium.
Chat asking about if etium did the dig spot, and the answer to that is yes. I think it was just 3 bombs. I do recall him doing that though. He routed that in while he had that purple chest.
All right, etium picking up that bow, and so we'll be able to clear Eastern. But the big thing is, we can't think of anything else other than Ped right now that these runners haven't checked.
Yeah, etium's full cleared the items, at least, here in Tower of Hera. And we know we got both items in Skull Woods, so neither of those pendant dungeons can be what we're looking for. dazedcloud has full cleared. Palace of Darkness, Chad, it's looking like Ped.
And the good news for dazedcloud here is it's a good time to knock out Moldorm. And if Dazed is feeling the Ped is the play, then that is what they're gonna do. Spiral was checked, I believe it was 20, and Mimic, we had a hint that it was dead.
Yeah, that's correct.
And Dazed is gonna go and kill Moldorm.
Oh yeah, Dazed leaving that big chest down there, so they're gonna have to drop in and give that a check for one of those big old 20s.
Oh yeah, Dazed has not done Uncle. But at the same time, though, that's only gonna put a little bit of a damper on his progression, because getting this pendant here is gonna be bigger than anything. Because etium is gonna have to go back for it.
Yeah, it may be a blessing for Dazed if he did forget about the Uncle spot, just based on what we know. That's going to give him his second pendant. So just one more to go to check that Ped.
And Skull Woods being a pendant, a very interesting place to have that. you know, be able to turn that in, and Daze is going to go ahead and do Spike Cave. So Daze will go over to, if Daze is going to make that ped play, I wonder if we'll see a check before he goes and commits to the moth.
Yeah, we'll have to see what he decides. Etium learning that this is nothing up in the front.
All right, so Etium will be able to go finish out Eastern and will even up the crystal count, but the pendant count may be what we're looking at here, and Daze looks like they're gonna go for catfish. Yeah, and unfortunately for Etium, that big key and pod is buried. It's not easily accessible. It is in the dark maze.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It is going to lead him on a little bit of a goose chase, finding it, but in the process, he will be able to full clear most of it. And given his position, I can't say I blame him. I would be full clearing it too.
All right, so Dazed is headed over to Kakariko area / Village of Outcasts, and I think this is our ped check.
Yeah, we'll see if he pops over and heads into the portal. If he does, looks like he is not going to. He'd be able to route this in a little quicker. Oh, nope. Proving me wrong. Coming on over here. Gonna go in this portal and mirror right outside of the back of Skull Woods.
Yeah, it'll be quicker to get to the back of Skull Woods, as well as if you want to check the ped before you commit, you can. So, let's see. Here we go. Let's see if Daze just goes for the moth, or if we're going to get a pre-moth ped check here. All right, get your hypes in chat. Is it going to be the ice rod? It is! It's the ice rod on pedestal. Wow.
Man, this has been one heck of a seed. So yeah, to summarize the seed, I guess, one way of kind of summarizing it would be, you know, Ice Rod is on Laser Bridge. Just kidding. It's on the pedestal.
And Synac pointing out Aga was required and Ped was required. So this seed is an all dungeon seed. But Dazed only has the moth to knock out. Unfortunately for Etium, he's gonna have to head into pod, and again, that big key is buried. So even if you wanted to do it quickly and throw all the item checks out the window, yeah, that key is in Dark Maze. So Daze picking up the ice rod here on the pedestal. And we unsheathe the Master Ice Rod.
So 1 hour 50 or 49 minutes 54 seconds. dazedcloud has finally hit go mode. I'm sure breathing a sigh of relief at this stage.
Yeah, Dazed casting some fire shots at that pedestal for its blatant rudeness. And luckily it is inverted, so Dazed will be able to just go straight into the back of Turtle Rock and get rid of Trinex. Toot sweet.
All right, so while we wait for Days to get into Turtle Rock, etium making his way through the right side of Palace of Darkness.
And I'm sure that once etium completes Pod, I think it will sink in that this may be Pedestal Seed.
Yeah, most definitely. He's checked literally everything inside of Turtle Rock except Trinex himself. So not much left to do.
Yeah, has got the items out of Hera and Skull Woods, so yep. Dazed on the Trinex fight. And all we gotta do is kill the snake, and down goes Trinex.
Very nice fight there by dazedcloud. And
So,
that's gonna get us to go. Get your big key guessing game guesses in the chat. Guess number 1 to 22. We'll be counting them out. It's going to be a quick, I guess, setup here just because of the way this goes. We are going to have to get back into Light World. But if you are a Speed Gaming supporter by either subbing to one of the Speed Gaming family of network channels or donating a total of 250 bits, you are eligible to be on our leaderboard. So get those guesses in chat before we have to end this, which is going to be very shortly.
quickly, you have a few seconds left to lock in your answers. All right, here we go. Chest number 1 is a small key. Chest number 2 is the flute.
Hey, we've got the flute finally.
And unfortunately, the bird is not going to have the birthday song today.
No, indeed.
So Daisy's going to go full right. And Zelazon inverted not only can be fluteless, but the flute is of much less importance in inverted. Three is bombs, 4 is a heart container, 5 is a heart container, 6 is the blue cane.
So that's where our life has been hiding this entire seed.
Seven is Swagnet. We're finding all the missing items now. 8 is our mushroom. 9 is a small key. 10 is a piece of heart. And 11, lucky number 11, is the big key. So, Daniel Oberon, you are now... I'm not sure if you got a win before, but you've got an extra win on the leaderboard that you didn't have before. And looks like, yep, you're tied with the many others that have that one win. Looks like RD Walsh at the top with the 3 wins there, so someone's got to challenge RD Walsh.
All right, so dazedcloud making his way, getting ready to cross the Cannonball Bridge and then head into the Gauntlet.
So Etium is gonna check the green pendant and find the big 20, or no, it was bombs, I think. Congratulations, you've completed Palace of Darkness. Here are your 3 bombs as reward. And Dazed using some B strats.
Hey, when you've got them, you can use them.
And look at that B go. See, that's how you deal with that room. You just bring a B with you. Looks like Etium is gonna head up to Tower of Hera. And Dazed getting that 0 cycle landmo.
You know, sitting here contemplating the seed, man, it's like we had to do PED, but not only that, it also, you know, with Tower of Hera, since we're headed back there, Etium's already done it, but we had to actually do the tile room as well. Like, there was no way to skip around that today.
Yeah. And I mean, the other thing about this seed is, I don't know if Dazed just did an excellent job of reading it, or if things just lined up, you know, in a manner that Dazed was able to take advantage of, because Etium diverged from Dazed's route, and Dazed was pretty much on point with progression the whole time.
Yeah, and, you know, basically, when the world opened up for Dazed, he made a lot of very good calls here at the beginning. You know, the inverted mode, when you get to Light World, everything is a huge, like, cluster. There's just so much open to you, and then it's all in how you want to route it in, and, you know, it just really worked out in Dazed's favor today.
Yeah. And Dazed worked for that ice rod, so he's gonna use it. Throwing some ice rod shots while he's waiting for that bomb to explode. And we're seeing a simultaneous Moldorm fight here.
Just slightly across universes, if you will, or worlds. Very nice Moldorm sync there. And
Wow.
there's Sankart, actually. Holy moly.
What a place for Sankart. But that doesn't beat the seed that I was commentating on yesterday. Guess what was there yesterday? It was the silvers.
Oh boy.
Yeah, getting a nice little lineup there, but didn't get the 3.
I believe that's 2 doubles, so just need 2 more.
should need one more. Nope. I guess we got a double, single.
Yeah, so
Single.
2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Too many ones there, but you get the point.
It was a 2-4-1 deal.
Ha ha.
And etium is headed to Skull Woods. We'll see if etium goes for that ped check as well, or goes straight into it. And it looks like etium says, I know exactly what's on the ped. Unfortunate. Alright, here we go with the Ganon fight. Dave is using some cape strats.
Cape plus butter sword and half magic. This is definitely a quick one.
So phase 3 we are at. Yeah, but I think between our runners we found every inventory item.
Yeah, we did actually.
Alright, Daze now on phase 4 gets a silver off and the torch glitch. Ooh, looks like we're gonna have a double here. Almost a triple.
Yeah, very close with that triple.
And the last one to finish it off. Get your GGs in chat for dazedcloud. What a seed.
Yeah, this has been interesting. Now, keep in mind, Dazed actually is at that pixel. Needs to move down. There we go. Okay. Had me worried for a moment. Man, that's like pixel perfect to be up there. That is close. And there we go, making it across the bridge without falling. Nicely done. Get those GGs in chat for dazedcloud. Meanwhile, etium's pulling the pedestal. And we'll get you that official SRL time. dazedcloud finishing in first place with 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 48 seconds.
Alright, so etium is gonna continue on, maybe?
No, it does look like we do have a forfeit from etium. So get your GGs in chat for etium as well. This has been a heck of a seed. Very punishing very early on. And then a wild goose chase for the ice rod.
Alright, so we're joined by dazedcloud. GG, congrats. And we've got etium in here now as well.
Thanks.
How about that ped?
Oh man, that just I got to the point there where I was like, I've looked everywhere else. And the moment I dipped pod and just was like, okay, I haven't found anything here, I'm going, all right, I know there's nothing in Skull. There's only one thing in Hera. Oh man, it's probably on ped, isn't it? Oh crap, I guess I gotta go do this.
Yeah. That one came out of left field, like, you know, we were in the booth talking about it, and we came down to the realization that between the both of you, there was like very little left, and we're like, we still haven't found the ice rod. And then as soon as pod was cleared and the front of Turtle Rock was cleared, we knew that ped was the play, because etium had cleared that second item out when you had opted to dip out. So
Yeah, this.
Yeah, it was I mean, just absolutely, you know, the end, and I'm just going, oh my god, I kept checking my the SRL window, and I'm just going, all right, I'm expecting to see it any minute now, and it's
Yeah.
not there, and just keep going.
Once it was like, in the mid 150s, I was like, okay, this has got to be a ped seed. Because I don't know, I have a feeling I was probably behind from the early game. I don't know how far, but yeah, I didn't. My route in the early game did not work out at all. I just like double dipped everywhere. Took me 3 tries to get the blind refight, which was annoying and not even really needed.
Yeah, the early game was really odd. Logic kind of making you guys go into Thieves Town to get the fire rod, to get to the back, to get the sword, to go to Aga. It was just all over the place and
Yeah.
super convoluted. But yeah, it's just this is one of those seeds like you watch it unfold. It's like, man, inverted's hard. Like that's the only thing you could really take away watching this.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually kind of a fun seed. I just wish my early game had worked out better, and then this might have been a bit of a closer race.
I was really nervous before the race that we were gonna get something like blind or something, and at that point I'd just be like, well, I have better things to do with my day. I'm not even gonna bother. But luckily it wasn't that bad. So
At least I had boots, so getting back to blind was pretty easy.
once
Yeah.
having boots and getting those early bottles were kind of making me think of like, okay, it's probably in the light world, and I actually miscounted. So I completely forgot that blind had an item. So I just jumped into Agos like, all right, here we go. Just assuming that it was on Sick Kid, which luckily was right. Now, if it had turned out differently and something had been on there, if like Hammer had been on there and it was in Pod or something, I could have been in a world of hurt really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was just you reading the seed very well, Dazed, or if you had just the devil's luck, because the progression just seemed to fall underneath you at every turn during the mid game, and being that etium had diverged from the routing that you took, it didn't come to him until like the mid-late game, really.
Yeah, I took a long time to find the hammer.
Yeah, I mean, debating at one point there after I got the pearl, because I had the boots and I was like, okay, do I go south or do I go north? Because I sequence broke all the way through Hyrule Castle. So I was going, okay, there's that, there's only there's the 2 chests up there. Well, maybe, so I'm trying to like guess which way to go. And when I got the Titan's mitts, I was like, all right, we're going north first. And then I found the hook shot, which okay, I got the hook shot. Let's get back up to the mountain. And that's, then things just started kind of falling into place with me, like getting the mirror, which got to the bow, and then the bow gets to the book, and and it just kind of goes on until the ice rod, and then ice rod was just where the heck is this thing?
Yeah, I got the bow pretty late. I think it was my second last item before the ice rod.
Yeah, it was really interesting to watch due to the way the progression fell for you, Etium. It for a while, Dazed was doing Swamp, and then shortly after here, you come into Swamp because of the hook shot and the mirror, and Flippers, since they showed up in Checkerboard. And then I think Dazed went on over to Ice, and you followed, like you were following in that route. It looked, if you're just tuning in at that point, it looked really close. The bow was the big difference for a good while. Just Dazed did make that early dip with the mirror into Turtle Rock, and that kind of gave him a little bit of advantage with the routing. But we see the collection rate popping up there, 174. So that is one of the higher ones, and that is what happens when you search the entire world, basically doing 100% and find out it's on pedestal.
Yeah, and this was a B seed as well. I have to applaud you, Dazed, for using B strats in the gauntlet.
I wanted to let all 3 of them go, but it was just kind of like, at the same time, I'm also like panicking that, any minute I'm going to see done. So like I'm fumbling through my menu trying to get my Bs out. And at one point, I think I almost mirrored and I was just like, oh, God!
Honestly, it was a good way to deal with that often wandering blue horse knight. If he goes up the conveyor and gets away from you, having that bee kill him is a pretty nice strat.
That's kind of just always for like JTN always loves bees. So like anytime I've got a bee, I kind of feel like I owe it to him to use one.
Indeed. So taking a quick look here at the standings. So we have the leftovers getting on the board yet again, up to 6 points now, with that second win of the league. I about to say tournament, but of the league. And also with the loss, Titans Mitts at 12 points still. This is going to be a basically 4-way tie now for first place with Titans Mitts. That's pretty incredible. Lake Helia division all up. Like there's a ton of competition here.
Yeah, that's gonna make for some exciting matches when these teams that have the higher points start battling each other out to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, most definitely. Let's take a quick look at the schedule and see what we. So let's see. I don't know if we've got the race still happening. I think we do over on Speed Gaming 4, and that is Fear Agent versus Trinex, Team Kappa versus 2 Pearl, 2 Furious. Obviously, that is inverted mode since we are sitting here in week 3. Jetters has also put those commands in chat. I do want to give you guys the encouragement. Go follow the runners. They put on a heck of a show for you tonight. This inverted mode, it's hard, it's mean, and it doesn't care what you think. It's going to do its own thing. And also, make sure you follow the Restream crew, myself, HXC Jetters, and the Signac, coming in clutch with us with a tracking for us. We do appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks you guys, and to the trackers for putting on a restream for us.
Yeah, thanks a lot, actually. It's always kind of nice here. I didn't even know that we had a Speed Gaming 6, but it's always good to be restreamed.
Yeah.
And the rarely seen Speed Gaming 6, it does exist. Someone said that in chat at the beginning. It was a nice little thing. But so anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up here. It's been a pleasure commentating this race with you, Jetters. I've had a fantastic evening watching this crazy mess unfold. I'm going to throw it over to you for the final word.
Yeah, and thanks for being with me here, Dante, and again, thanks to our runners for putting on a show dealing with what the seed has done to them. One of the trollier, inverted seeds I've ever seen. And if any of you are also looking for other speed gaming content, we've got Link to the Past Randomizer spoiler log tournament match starting up here in about 10 minutes. That's on Speed Gaming 4. As Your Dreams Rock Me to the Top tournament. That's on Speed Gaming 3. That has been underway for about 40-ish minutes. Looks like Zelda 1 Randomizer, All Boards, No Swords tournament. That has been underway for a little bit over an hour now. That's on Speed Gaming 2. Super Metroid Randomizer League Playoff Top 16. That's been underway for about an hour on Speed Gaming. And Zelda 1 plus Metroid 1 Combo Randomizer. Never seen that before. That's kind of interesting. But that's on Speed Gaming 5, and that's been underway for about 30 minutes. So if you want to check out any of that, please do so. And thank you all for joining us, and we will see you all tomorrow.